Before we get to today's practice and all that, I actually want to go just start very wide with you and the idea that you're even here in the first place. There aren't a lot of NFL football players from Montreal, not a lot from Canada in general. How did you get into football in the first place?
I will have to give credit to my dad. My dad was a tremendous athlete, basketball and football, but his favorite sport was football. So when I asked him, what's your favorite sport? He said football. I just want to be like my dad, so that's what I put my energy and time into, and looks like it paid off.
Yeah, to say the least. You're in the NFL. Did you get to watch the NFL a ton as a kid? Like, do you guys just sit down and watch on Sundays like we think of most American families doing?
Yeah. Honestly, my parents, they really enforced us to just like sports in general. So whatever was on, it could be like NHL, NBA, NFL, whatever. We was always in front of the TV watching it and all that stuff. And from a young age, I kind of grew my love for football. And as I got older, I really started, taking it more seriously and trying to pave my way out of Canada to make it here.
Now, you did play other sports. What other sports did you play, and how did that help you think ultimately as a defensive back?
I started, my first sport ever was hockey. My dad, I remember, shove all the snow off the backyard and, put some water, ice cold water, and then made a ice rink. So I laced up in skates at 4. I played hockey until I was 14, every winter, because we had long winters in Canada. So you don't say. Exactly. So you gotta have you gotta be able to be good at a winter sport. So, and I think now that I look back at it, a lot of athletes here, hockey's not a popular sport here. Most guys play basketball, track, field, all that stuff. But I played hockey, which made me very agile on my feet. I was a really good defender. Came backward, being able to defend players from backward, or stop on a dime, skate, spin around, all that stuff, which all translates to the defensive back position, being quick on your feet. And I'm so tall, so people are like, oh yeah, he can't move, he's stiff and all that stuff. But I think the fact that I'm really good at hockey as a young age kind of those skills translated to football.
With Benjamin St. Juste here on the Hoffman Show. So, the hips, obviously, the way you turn on an ice rink, very similar. And as you said, people don't anticipate you being able to play, for instance, in the slot and do the kinds of things you can do. How has it been for you this season, bouncing in between? Because they've had you lining up all over the place, a bunch of different guys next to you. How has it been to not have the consistency of playing one spot, but, obviously using that versatility inside, outside?
Honestly, it's been great. The fact that I can play both positions and I'm kind of mastering both now in my year 2 of playing both. It really helps me understand everything that's going around me. So when I play corner, I know where the nickel is going to be because I played that position. I'm like, okay, he's going to be there. I can play this differently. Knowing your surroundings, knowing what the position next to you is doing will just help you expand. Your game plan, the concepts of going against the offense and all that stuff. And it just helps the defense in general because certain package I might be matched up against a receiver or on the outside and I can go on the inside and all that stuff. So we have more weapons for the defense to keep the offense on their toes.
How easy or hard is it to know, just based off what sub-package is called, what play is called, where you're actually supposed to be play in, play out? Do you ever have those moments you're like, wait, I'm supposed to be over here, over there? Or is it, at this point, it's kind of second nature?
It always happens. We're not perfect, so there's always going to be some little, mental errors in there. But if really good players are able to correct it mid-play, so the play might start and you might be like, oh, I forgot some, or I was supposed to motion all that stuff, but you're able to correct it. There's a saying that if we all wrong, we all right. So if the players around you know what you're doing, they know what they're supposed to do, and they see you in the wrong spot, then they can maybe make up for what you're doing, and you take their job mid-play. That's what great players, that's what great defenses do.
No doubt about it. With Benjamin St. Juste here on the Hoffman Show on the Team 980. So today's first day in pads. Definitely seemed to be a little bit more energy out there, as is the nature. What was your experience, though, being out there with the pads on?
Nothing changed for us. We're trying to come out with the same energy every day, pads or not. Pads really just helped us, on the defense because we're a little bit more physical, and that's what we like. We like to tackle, to wrap, and all that stuff. So we're trying to work on the small details, to even though we're not bringing guys to the ground, we're trying to be in great position to tackle, great, angle the pursuit and all that stuff. Make sure the running back, receiver's not cutting back, create explosive plays, which is all things that we're going to need during the season when we actually, go live.
People might be able to hear the chants for Terry in the background. One thing that I was reminded of today with the pads on with him is how heavy his hands are. What's it like when you're, trying to press him and he whacks you across with one of those big hands trying to get free on the line of scrimmage?
And I think that's one of the sneaky skills from Terry because he's not the biggest receiver, so people might underestimate him. But then, at the point of attack, he can just literally rip the ball off from any DB, and then he's pretty strong to just just do a flyby or push a defender off or whatever. So I think that's his like silent like killer move, you know. People, and he's fast too, so people are like, okay, he's quick, he's fast, he might be not that strong. Boom, hit him with some, and then he just rips the ball off of you. So yeah, he's really good at doing that.
There was one today, I can't remember if it was on you or one of your teammates, that I wasn't even watching, I just heard it, and you're like, what was that? It was like, oh, it was one of Terry just slapping somebody out the way. So I don't know if that was you, if you remember it, but
I don't think so. I wouldn't remember. I could explain the play right now if it was me, but I don't think so.
Yeah, all right, a couple more off the field things real quick before we get out of here with Benjamin St. Juste. I know you got to go lift, so promise it'll be quick. What did you do this, like, favorite trip you took this offseason?
Favorite trip I took would be back home. Went back home to Montreal. Was hosting my second camp for my foundation, back to Origin football camp. Had 625 kids across Canada come in and get some work. It's the biggest camp in Canada. So yeah, that was dope.
Is that the first time you've done that, or second?
Second edition. Last year we had 500 kids. This year we had 625. I brought my teammate William Bradley King and Derek Forrest to come coach and help the kids. So it was a great success.
That's awesome, man. And last but not least, so it's a running bit on the show, but also like an actual thing. I'm trying to learn French. My wife and I are going to Paris next year for the Olympics, so I'm trying to learn French. It's incredibly difficult. I'm very bad at it. Tips for someone learning French. You did the reverse. For people that don't know, you started as a French speaker, and I was reading on Wikipedia, so I don't know if it's true, but also Haitian Creole, first two languages, and then had to learn English, which I know is very, very difficult to learn when it's not your native language. French, English, they don't seem compatible. What's your tip for me as I try to learn French?
I would say watch movies in French with English subtitles. That's what I did.
Okay.
I watched a lot of movies in French, but I had the English. No, I watched a lot of movies in English with the French subtitles. So like movies, music, it's kind of something that's like easy, like on the brain. It's not too much information, but you can still enjoy it, and you can see the conversation, because that's the hardest part. Learning like a little word, like to say like, hey, my name is this or whatever, that's easy. But holding a conversation, that's the hardest part.
Yeah, right now I'm really just trying to master, like, I'm American, do you speak English? Because I think in Paris I can get away with that.
Yeah, so je suis américain.
Yeah.
Et je ne parle pas français.
See, even the way you said that is not the way Duolingo says to say that. So I'll just have to come back to my new French tutor, Benjamin St. Juste. BSJ, appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this clip of our 2023 Washington Commanders training camp coverage. For more, check out the radio show live daily from 4 to 7 p.m. on the Team 980. We also stream live on the free Odyssey app, or you can watch the show here on YouTube at the Team 980. Subscribe right here for all our on-demand content. Click the button. Go now. Subscribe, and come on, while you're at it, let's be honest. If you made it this far, you probably liked what you saw, so go ahead and hit that like button too before another video starts. It's the polite thing to do.